Are you ready for this one, duplicates? Today we are going to combine the power of the Infectious Polluted Oxygen Vent together with the Hot Polluted Oxygen Vent to make a Super Polluted Oxygen Vent, and then we're going to turn that into nice, cool, clean oxygen for our base. Now, when it comes to these different things here, we have a couple of problems. One, we have a lot of germs up here that we have to deal with, a bunch of slime lung. Now, I did a whole video on this a while ago of how we can remove germs from gases or liquids using a couple different methods. So the main one is you can either fill it with a tank full of chlorine, or sorry, you can fill a tank with the gas you want to clean, and if the background has chlorine in it, that will actually clean it out. There's been an updated method here. You can actually disable these tanks using a door rather than valves. That makes it a little bit easier. Or you can use temperature, which is actually a much faster method, so that's going to be the method we're going to deal with here. And since the temperature of this infected polluted oxygen vent is at 60 degrees, it's still quite a bit hotter than what I would like, so I'm going to deal with temperature regardless. So it makes sense to get rid of the germs using the temperature method. And many of you guys in the last video here were commenting about how we could combine the two different units together to kill off the germs. So that's actually kind of a complicated problem because we're combining these two geysers together, right? So essentially this is phase one. We're going to bring 560 together to make 200 and some. It has to deal with how fast these things are going to run. So I estimate roughly about 260 degrees Celsius. At that point, we want to use a steam turbine to capture some of that energy. So we'll go from 260 down to 120. Now, because we're over 100 degrees Celsius, we should, at this point, have killed off all the slime lung. It does not survive above 100 degrees Celsius. So the neat thing about this is that even if the hot oxygen vent down here is not running, we're still going to have a nice bit of thermal capacity right here and here to kill off the germs. So this, even though the input temperature might drop, the output temperature should still remain relatively steady, or shall we say it swings less. However, we then have 120 degree oxygen. Now, if you run 120 degree oxygen into something like an exosuit, you're still going to make that exosuit about 120 degrees. So we have to get the temperature down to something usable unless you have a spot that you're going to use it somewhere else, like liquid oxygen, I don't know. Which would also be another way to get rid of this polluted oxygen, but that's a drastically different process. Okay, it's not drastically different, it's just much colder. So what I'm going to use here is an aqua tuner because it's efficient, and we're going to drop that temperature from 120 down to 20 degrees, so it's nice for our base, and we're going to take the thermal energy from that aqua tuner since it essentially pumps the heat out, and we're going to deliver that back to the steam turbine. This system I doubt will run positive, but it should be relatively close. And the last step here is we're going to run it through a deodorizer. So this allows us to turn a lot of this sand or even the regolith up here into clay. And clay can be turned into ceramic. And ceramic is a great insulator for pipes. And since I can actually make tiles out of it because I have a mod on, I can make fancy tiles out of it. Which means we're doing all of this to make cool oxygen and to make our base look cool. So it's perfect. Oh, and there's also this volcano over here. Maybe I'll find a way to make use of that at some point. Not today. Okay, so the temperatures that we have to deal with here might be potentially upwards of 500 degrees. I doubt we'll actually see that temperature, probably be more like 400, but it's hot. Hot enough, I should say. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hang on. Okay, one thought that somebody left in the comment section that I thought was really cool is if we could feed dense puffs. I like never ever ranch dense puffs. However, that would be an interesting thing. What would I do with puffs? Why would I even put a bunch of germs in my base? It's a terrible idea, but I'm going to go with it anyhow. If I went with the puffs, polluted oxygen. Don't be blowing up my plan, critters. Jeez, what are you doing, puffs? Comfort range, 15 to 55. Polluted oxygen gives off slime. But I had this whole plan. Okay, well, maybe I can make use of the puffs. All right, fine, I'll go with the puffs. But I'm not changing my plan. I already planned this out. Coming up in here and just farting all over my plans. Come on, what are you doing? All right, so to pull this off, I'm going to need some materials, and I'm also going to need some technologies. So let's take a look at what we have on research. The one things I'll probably want to have, I'm going to need an exosuit so that I can get into the next biome over here, like right over there. That would be really handy. I don't necessarily need steel because I can use the thermal aqua tuner if I use a little bit of an interrupt signal. So that would actually be this signal right here. So what that would do is it allow me to just flick it on and off so it doesn't actually burn up. There's other ways of doing that too. You could just like segment out the liquid as well. Okay, the next thing I want after that is solid transport. That is super handy, very useful. I probably want to get metal refinery up and running here pretty soon too. Oh, I guess I'm going to need that. A lot of tech to go through. So Canalita's going to be up here. She's just going to be researching like crazy. So in other news here, the Pip Ranch is coming along nicely. We got a bunch of Bad Pip Juniors running around up top, and then we have a whole nother breed down here on the bottom. And I think I might need a second rancher because she needs to be doing research. Nope, don't have any dupes for that. Never mind. So what I'm doing here is I'm storing the eggs over here. You can see that Meep's picking this egg up. He's going to put it in this storage bin. So we have a lot of eggs over here. Now, if you leave them inside there, they will eventually crack and just turn out as a, they'll come out as a cracked egg, essentially. So then you can take that and grill it up into an omelet, like we actually have right here. Select. And then what I could put down here is a little incubator, and therefore I can just keep one of those pips in there so that they can get hatched. And then once I have a critter drop off, I can essentially take one of these right down here, and I'll say, you know, as long as there's more than one critter there, we can actually just auto wrangle and deliver it wherever it needs to go. So that's how you can kind of automate your population control for the most part without getting too complicated about it. And if you end up with too many, you can just murderize them using the attack critters. There's other ways of doing that. You can automate how you actually get rid of your extra critters by drowning them. Yes, that's a thing. This just happens to be above water for no particular reason. Okay, so a couple of resources I want to get my hands on here is going to be some of this diamond down there. Ooh, even the iron ore, that would be really nice. Some fossil would be fancy. So I'm going to try to dig that up. I was trying to get the exosuit up and running, but let's just see how we can do without that. So long as I watch my dupes very carefully here and don't let them get cooked, we should be all right. I do worry about two of them being over here at the same time, though. Yeah, they keep getting roasted. I think it's time for a little bit of an exosuit there to make that happen. If I take my eyes off them for a second there, they'll just cook themselves to death. That would not be good. Good job with the my gosh, she is so fast. She's almost like a super dupe. It's incredible. Okay, in order to build my suits, I need to be able to get some reed fiber. Now, I haven't really found any reed fiber in the map just yet. We found things like pinch of pepper plants and all of that good stuff, but not reed fibers. Luckily, we have two little fluffy crawlers over here. We got two Dreckos that are just about ready to be wrangled up here. And I'm going to deliver them right down here. What do we have? Not a slickster, nope. You need to be a Drecko. And this area is like perfect for a Drecko. So the cool thing about this area is I could put hydrogen right up here, and that'll allow them to regrow their scales or the fur. I should end up with glossy Dreckos eventually, since we have mealwood and then hydrogen down here, which will be a little bit more useful, but for right now we can go ahead and run through the shearing station. There's so much clutter down here. All right, let's just try to deconstruct some stuff. I'll have to put some mealwood seeds down here and have the pips come in and actually plant it up. Oh wait. And if I have pinch of pepper seeds, they should be able to plant them on the ceiling too. Okay, so you may have noticed that this thing up here is not running right now. And that's because I forgot a key piece of automation. So coming off of the smart battery that's connected to the hydrogen generator, I need to run a NOT signal between that and my power out. That way the system doesn't suck, everything that's connected to it doesn't suck all the power out of it. Because if you do suck all the power out of it, then it's down until you go and recharge it up. Because you're overdrawing the system, and it doesn't like it when you do that. So by adding that NOT signal, I should be able to get the system up and running, and it will continue to run nice and fast. I've also added a second ethanol distiller. I feel like that just produces more ethanol and allows you a little bit more flexibility on the power out. You don't necessarily need it, but I think it helps. Drecko, what did you do? Where did all this water come from? Don't tell me you can pee. What a mess you've made, Drecko. That's just a lot of sweep and mop commands down there. Aha! You can barely see it, but back there is sheared Drecko. Oh, it looks like the automation's messed up too. There we go. Okay, so now it's actually working as intended. It was just running continuously. No wonder it wasn't working. It just didn't understand what 100 was. Don't know why. Here, we'll try to get all these crude oil bottles out of here. There you go. We can just dump right there. There we go. And we can just take all the clean water. Boom. Just dump over there. That'll be fine. Now, let's see if I can dig up all these plants down here. I don't need those. I don't think I need those anymore. Nor do I need this, because I want to build this into a ranch. Okay, so while I'm working on those Dreckos here, I now have an exosuit forge. So I should be able to build that. Then I should be able to build the exosuits, which means I should be able to go over here and dig up my diamond and iron and fossil. Again, not that this is really necessary to cover this over here, but I do want to make a diamond thermocoupler between these two. And that also means I need some research, so I'm still waiting for that to finish too. Yes! Awesome. Okay, so now I've got the reed fiber from my Dreckos down here, which means with a little bit of refined metal, I should be able to make my suit. I've got reed fiber right there, dupes. Dupes! Go grab the reed fiber! Why is it not available here? What are you doing, dupes? What are you doing, dupes? I can see it right there. It's right there. You know it's right there. And I know you can get to it. Stupid duplicants. Make my suits. I can't see what's going on down here. Could we sweep this up, please? Oh no, more slicksters. All right, there we go, dupes. I knew you could clean the stuff up. Ah, good job. Ooh, look at this oxygen. So breathable. So breathable. It's just, oh yeah. Oh, it's nice to have oxygen. Okay, so we've reached a critical spot where we actually have enough water to go around the entire loop. One of the things I did here is I set up this pipe wizardry to actually sequence the water so that it's every other tile rather than every single tile over and over again. This also helps me not burn up my gold amalgam thermal aqua tuner down here. And it also reduces the amount of water I need. So what I can do for the water is rather than continuing to pump more and more into that loop now, is I can take the clean water side out of here, like right there, before it runs into all of the equipment, and then turn that into oxygen. I don't know if I necessarily need oxygen. I might just have extra water. Technically, I shouldn't need oxygen, because we should be working on a polluted oxygen vent, which I may not get to, it seems like, because I'm still trying to make my suits. I see the reed fiber. It's right there, dupes. It's right there. How big is this room down here? Ooh, it's like perfect size. Look at that, 95 tiles. Just dig one tile out and it's perfect, 96. Okay, oh, this is gonna be good. So if I grab the seeds that I want, what do I want to plant first? Right, it's pinch of pepper, that's what they eat. Pinch of pepper plants, balm lilies, and mealwood. So I really want the pinch of pepper plants to be planted up top. Now, what is the comfort temperature? 35 to 85. No problem. That's like exactly what it is right down here. What kind of gas do you like? 150 gram? No problem. I got 166. What kind of seeds do we have? Pinch of peppers? I don't know if I have any, but they're gonna end up down here. Okay, so rather than Dreckos, we're going to deliver a pip or a pipsqueak. I think I even have a pipsqueak. I have a couple of them. There we go. Yeah, we got Pipsqueak and we got Bad Pip the Third. I think I want to plant at least this far up. So I'm going to have to build some strategy into this room. All right, so I ran into a situation here where it doesn't seem like I have any, there we go. Now I have got my reed fibers. For whatever reason, I had to reload the game in order for it to understand that there's reed fiber available. So kind of got stuck there for a moment. All right, so now to see if my pips here can actually plant up the pinch of pepper seed. You should be able to do it. Yes, there we go. Good job, Bad Pip Jr. You can see right behind here is a pinch of pepper plant right there. Boom, excellent. Glad to see that that's working. Now, there we go. There we gosh. Finally, an Atmos suit. Hey there, Slickster, you trying to get back in? Yeah, you are. Of course you are. Atmos suit dock, I want to put one of those right there. Make it out of copper. 1, 2, and then a little checkpoint. Trying to flip that the other direction. Very nice. And there we go. Boom. Go ahead and build all of that up, dupes. And we already have power because it's right there. And guess what? We already have a gas pipe. Ha! So now, this should actually sequence back and forth. Ha-ha! Look at these slicksters, they're just trying to get in. No, you decided to leave. You can stay out there. Nobody invited you back. No, where are you going, dupes? No! You're supposed to be in the suit. Come back. I just haven't enabled it yet. Oh, no, no, you're getting cooked. No, 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 no. Dupes. Dupes. Better. That's much better, dude. Now you can go dig. Good job. Bam. Not only that, now you can dig a lot faster, too. Because you get a plus 10 bonus in the Atmo suit, which is amazing. Now I'm just going to use the ladderless digging technique. Yes. Of the super elite. Alright, so there we have it. These dupes are just digging like crazy. They're using a secret digging technique that allows you to dig without ladders. So what you do is you do 3, and then you kind of go and do 3, and then you do 3 and 3, just like that. No ladders required, you can excavate everything. Oh, that was cool. Look at all of that oil. Boom. And we dug the whole thing up. That was 1 cycle. Are you kidding me? These dupes are super fast. Uh-oh. Made a mistake. Made a mistake. What do we have? Granite. We need a granite ladder. Quickly. There you go, bud. Almost ladderless. Small technicality. Alright, so there we have it. Oh man, the slicksters love it in here. They suck in this carbon dioxide, and then when they let loose, it's just like a plinko waterfall. Okay, I don't have enough plant life in here to sustain this stuff, so I'm going to move the Dreckos up here. That way they can chew on some mealwood. There you go. And then I'll move the pips back in here so that they can do their thing. Man, look at all this dirt in here. I keep sweeping this up, but the pips keep pooping out more. Hey, little guy. I think you ended up in the wrong spot. Reeds. Sure. Why not? Ooh, boy. I'm at that point now where I need another gas pump. Alright. Geez, I'm already 2 hours into this and I haven't even started on this polluted oxygen thing. It just took a long time to get some of this stuff set up. I don't know. I'm just not being very productive today. Alright, so I had to fast forward a few cycles here. I kind of ended up in a low food situation, and that was just because the oxygen was pressurized over here and I had actually backed up on the amount of oxygen I had. So I had to give it another spot to actually vent, and ever since I did that I have more pressure and was able to build up some more food again. Not only that, my brain kind of shut down and was no longer making any sense. So I needed to reset my brain here a little bit and regain the energy. So with that in mind, not a lot happened here in the last 15 cycles. So I'm going to put another half hour into this unit over here and see just how far we can get today. So far I have set up some rails like this. And what I'm going to put on those rails is a bit of that diamond that I dug up just a moment ago. And that allows me to thermally transfer energy very, very quickly. It's the best thing we have. It's got a high mass and it's got high thermal conductivity. So not only that, these vents right now are dormant. So this is a perfect opportunity to come down here and start poking around. So let's go ahead and lay that down just like so. And we can go ahead and uncover this. I think what I'll do here is I will actually make that just 3 wide, just like that. So if you remember back to our chart, this is kind of phase 1 where we're going to balance these temperatures, and that's also going to kill the germs. Now wherever that gas flows out, whether I do it right over here or right over there, I want to run it past a steam turbine so that can cool it down. So I think we'll just run off to the left here. No, I think we should run it off to the right actually, because that gives me a chance to use the volcano. So we'll do it off to the right. And this gives me an opportunity to analyze this vent. So see if I can send a dupe down there to do that job. Ooh, she's got a lot of work ahead of her. We'll leave these doors open, see if we can get some oxygen to flow in from here. I see I put a second vent over there, so that should increase the pressure in this area. It's got a long ways to go to get all the way over here. Okay, so for this loop, I have to give it a direction, so therefore I'm just going to use a conveyor bridge, just like that. So that way, when I load the diamond on there, it'll just keep going around and around like that. All right, so I have 10 tiles between this neutronium and the top of this vent right there. So if I put in the exit right in this area, that puts it right near the middle. All right, so I'll dig down over here just like this, and then I will put the steam turbine right up there. Okay, so in order to get the thermal energy here into the steam turbine, what I want to do is use some sort of medium in order to make that happen. So I am going to build some window tiles that are made of diamond. So we dug that up while we were digging over here, so that's a good deal. And it's only 100 kilograms for a window tile, so it's not quite as much mass as, let's say, just a standard non-insulated tile, which is actually quite a bit more. So what that means is that the temperature here will be a little bit more real-time than it would be otherwise. All right, so I was able to analyze the infectious polluted oxygen vent. Excellent. So we got 17 cycles until its next activity. Oh, that's a good deal. What do we have down here? We don't know yet. Still working on it. Come on, dupes, you can do it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do here is run that liquid loop here. And that's going to drop the temperature low enough so that we can actually use it inside of our base. So over here, we should be able to get it down to 120 or so just by taking a lot of that thermal energy and offloading it into the steam in this room. But then we're going to run this aqua tuner. We're going to pump the extra heat out from here into the steam turbine up top. Now, since this is only a little bit of oxygen and we're using something that's designed to actually cool liquid, it doesn't take a massive loop down here to do the work. So I'm just going to loop it a little bit, and that much radiator should be just fine. I put a couple temperature shift plates in there just to make sure that we kind of maintain a certain amount of mass in the area, but I don't need that much liquid running through there. Who's getting roasted? No, don't get roasted, dupes. Ooh, 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 ooh. That is hot. We dug right next to the abyssalite. No. My bad, dupes. Sorry, dupes. Turn around, isolate it. Hopefully before you cook. Nope, you need to get out of there. Got too hot. Some of those debris that are right on top of the abyssalite can really be hot, like really hot. Wait, who's getting crispy here? Meep, sorry, Meep. Oh, perfect. This is the dupe I was looking for. Micron, welcome to the base. And thank you so much for being a Patreon supporter. So the reason for the extra dupe here is because I have so much farming that I more or less need somebody harvesting all the time. I have so much ranching, I need somebody to ranch all the time. I have enough supplying that I always need somebody to supply. So I'm going to reduce some of these skills so that Micron eventually here will be my main supplier. And we could just kind of shift that around. All right, dupes, I just need you to cover this up, then you'll be all right. It's getting hotter. Quick! This got a lot of recovering to do. So does Ren, and the cots are like really far away. Perfect. Come on, Catalina, you can do it. Ow. There we go. You're okay, buddy. Oh, yeah, you're a little toasty, but you're okay. You're doing all right, I think. Yeah, you're doing okay. Barely. Here, we'll just make them recover right there. That'll be a little closer. Okay, you know what? I think Micron might be better off doing farming because obviously likes the farming. So I might have to reset my dupes a little bit and just kind of resort them. That'll have to happen here next time though. You can, there you go. Go ahead and operate. Oh, okay, there we go. Analysis complete. So we got 25 cycles before that one's going to be running. However, I would like it to get done. So let's get her done, dupes. Crap, I looked away for 2 seconds here and Catalina has been downed by our poke shells. I guess 3 of them have ganged up on her. Somebody wanna help her out? Hey, that was not nice, poke shells. We were just trying to sweep up the egg, that's all. That's all, you know. Give you a little pet. All right, we're gonna flip that one to auto and nobody's gonna go in there for a little bit. I got other things to do besides have poke shells beating up on my dupes. Y'all can think about that and starve for a little bit. They put you in the one that's full of carbon dioxide. Oh, good choice, dupes. I'll put your mover up there. What was that sound? Oh, you know what that was? These fish down here. See, at one point I got some more paku in here, and I knew that they could do this wild. I knew that they'd be able to do this wild. All I did is make this room a little bit bigger. And now, if I close off just a few tiles, it should still be able to be a nature reserve, and I can actually still get the pakus out of it. Nature reserve bonus, still just overcrowded. Nice. Yeah, see how these are age 21 of 25? Pretty soon here, they're going to turn into delicious meat for me to eat. See, I knew I had the right idea there. I read your comments and everybody had like every single theory down there. So it's just kind of funny how that works. All right, I'm gonna call them the Mad Shell Gang for attacking my dupes like that. Gotta be careful of those guys. They'll pincher you when you're not looking. All right, so in the end, I made some decent progress here on the super polluted oxygen vent. However, it's still going to be many cycles before these things even run, and before I finish up all of the equipment over here. So I got to call it somewhere, and this is where I got to call it if I want to get a video uploaded today. Once again, thank you and hello to all of the new subscribers and all of the support you guys have been showing me here recently. It's been absolutely awesome. The biggest and best my channel has ever done, so it's really exciting. Thank you again for all of that. If this looks like the channel for you, maybe considering that subscribe button. As always, stay awesome, guys. Peace. Mr-Brothgar out.